I'm losing weight, preventing disease, and feeling great now. These affirmations were inspired by Mark Hyman MD and his book, The Blood Sugar Solution. He received resounding praise by President Bill Clinton, author Agatston, author of the South Beach Diet, Rick Warren, author of A Purpose-Driven Life, Deepak Chopra MD, Christine Northrup MD, Mahomet Oz MD, Dean Ornish MD, Chris Carr, author of Crazy Sexy Diet, Daniel Coleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, and Jack Canfield, co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. I am Ashley Michaud, your coach. I simply took what resonated most from Mark Hyman's work and turned his teachings into words of empowerment so each of you ready to become the change can easily lose weight, prevent disease, and feel great now. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now losing weight and maintaining my healthiest weight long term. I'm preventing disease naturally. I am feeling great now. I'm so happy and grateful that I understand the scope and impact of our current global epidemic of obesity and type 2 diabetes, for which should be called diabesity. 1 in 2 Americans has this problem. I'm choosing to use my food as medicine so I don't get either of these problems. Skinny fat people also, they are under lean. They do not have enough muscle, so instead of being overweight, they have a little extra weight around the middle or belly fat. I'm preventing all of this. This is one of the leading causes of heart disease, dementia, cancer, and premature death in the world. It is almost entirely caused by environmental and lifestyle factors. It is 100% preventable and curable. I am healed. I am whole. I am healthy. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now raising my tribe to be their healthy best. This is said to be the first generation of Americans to live sicker and die younger than their parents. Life expectancy is actually declining for the first time in human history. The number of individuals with impaired glucose tolerance or prediabetes is said to increase substantially because of increased genetic susceptibility to the harmful effects of sugar and processed foods. These are food-like products. I know enough to avoid them. I am leading a positive example for others too. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now putting 2 and 2 together. I'm seeing the big picture. The cost of obesity is significant in the amounts of like 113 billion a year. This is insane numbers. From 2000 to 2010, these 2 conditions have already cost us a total of 3 trillion. That's 3 times the estimated cost of fixing our entire healthcare system. The solution is in taking back our healthcare system, taking back our health. I'm creating a demand for holistic and sustainable healthcare models. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now honoring doctors for when it comes to acute illness and trauma, there's nothing better than conventional medicine, current tools, and knowledge. However, when it comes to chronic disease and mental health, we clearly have a massive global problem on our hands. I am part of the solution. I am showing up. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now sharing alternatives and facts about what is not working because millions more are affected every year. Treating diabetes with medications or insulin is like mopping up the floor while the faucet continues to overflow. In fact, when diabetics start taking insulin shots, they usually gain weight and their blood pressure and cholesterol begin to rise, and they get even more depressed. It will help the blood sugar come down, but the real cause of diabetes are not addressed in this current system. I ask questions that spark greater insight. I'm so happy and grateful that I now encourage my loved ones to check what's most important about cholesterol, the size of cholesterol particles. Small particles are caused by insulin resistance. They are very harmful and don't improve with drugs. A good number is fewer than 600 small particles. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now getting in all my macro and micronutrients. I'm getting my vitamin D, coenzyme Q10, alpha-lipoic acid, fish oils, fiber, biotin, and other B complexes. I also add in minerals like magnesium and chromium. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating protein with every meal, including breakfast. I have a protein snack in the morning and afternoon. I'll not eat 3 hours or less before bed. I'm choosing to fast every night and break that fast with a pre-planned and healthy breakfast. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now interval and resistance strength training. This helps reverse disease and pre-disease in the body. My energy is dramatically increasing, while my blood sugar regulates. My skin is clearer. My cravings are gone. I am at a magical point where I am happy and enjoying my life fully. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now committed to quality food and making the nutritional choice. My hormones are in balance. Allergens no longer affect me. The microbes within my body are removing toxins, energizing my cells, and helping me both identify and treat stress. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now balancing my blood sugar with nutritional supplements and exercise. High insulin levels are the first sign of a problem. In fact, insulin resistance is the single most important phenomenon that leads to rapid and premature aging and all its reluctant diseases, including heart disease, stroke, dementia, and cancer. I am aging with grace. As I age, I get more healthy, happy, and wealthy. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating quality food regularly. Skipping meals or eating too much sugar or refined carbs can bring on mood swings, anxiety, irritability, tiredness, heart palpitations, and panic attacks. I stay in balance by eating small, nutritionally dense meals more often throughout each day. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now in balance. Chronic disease results from imbalances in our biology that occur as a result of the interactions between our genes and our environment. This also includes food. I'm practicing the fundamentals of functional medicine to stay strong, resilient, and be my healthy best. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now focused on creating health rather than treating disease. The disease often takes care of itself. Disease goes away as a side effect of getting healthier. In truth, disease is almost entirely induced by environmental and lifestyle factors. We can't change our genes, but we can change their function and expression through daily decisions to stay healthy. This is what I'm doing. Genes provide the instruction book for all the proteins in our body which control our physiology and biology. Every moment, I have the power to transform my gene expression and reverse disease by changing the messages and instructions I send to my DNA. I'm taking on this responsibility. The food I eat is not just calories, it's valuable information that I value. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now adding years to my life. My diet is much more powerful than medicine. Yes, it may take a lot of work, but anybody can heal given the right conditions. I'm working with my doctor to get what I need. I'm reversing signs of disease. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now consuming more omega-3 fats, EPA, and DHA. These help normalize blood sugar and improve insulin sensitivity. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating whole, real, fresh food and exercising vigorously. I'm easily keeping my blood sugar low and my insulin needs down. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now delivering lifestyle interventions through small groups I connect with along my own journey. This is the most powerful way to create sustainable behavior changes, remembering it's easier to get healthy together. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now simply provided the choice of a different treatment and individualized program for sustainable and comprehensive lifestyle change. I'm so happy and grateful that I have stumbled across and am studying nutrigenomics, the way food talks to our genes. The truth is, food is information, and it quickly changes our metabolism and genes. Eating powerful, gene-altering, whole, real, fresh food that is home-cooked rapidly changes our biology and is helping get our systems in balance. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now tapped into old-fashioned willpower. I'm easily exercising and have more self-control. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating food that is made from a plant rather than grown in a plant. I am in defense of food. Most of what's made in factories today is biologically addictive. No one binges on healthy food. They diversify. It's easy to imagine a mountain of potato chips, a whole bag of cookies, or a pint of ice cream just vanishing quickly in an unconscious reptilian brain eating frenzy. Broccoli, however, is not addictive, but chips, cookie, ice cream, and soda can quickly become as addictive as any opiate or even other drugs like heroin and cocaine. I'm doing my best to be a conscious consumer. I'm mindful, and I am voting with my dollar. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now using my primitive neurochemical reward centers in the brain to enhance my willpower, eat better, work out regularly, and live fully. It's beautiful. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now aware that food manufacturers have brainwashed people to think we can't drink just water. But it is what we're made of. Water is what helps people lose weight. In fact, researchers found that drinking water before meals actually increases weight loss by 44%. I am hydrated, and I'm feeling great in my body. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now giving up processed stevia, aspartame, added sugars, alcohols, and all the other heavily used and marketed frankenfoods out there. These slow down our metabolism, contribute to weight gain, and create addicts. The food they market are addictive. It should be made illegal to allow these food pushers unrestricted access to our children. In fact, a 2007 review of more than 206 scientific studies found that if the food industry founded the study, there is up to an 8-fold likelihood that the study findings proved favorable for the food industry. Another alarming study showed that rats offered the choice of cocaine or artificial sweeteners always picked the artificial sweetener, even if the rodents were previously programmed to be cocaine addicts. I'm educating myself and the children in my life to make better choices and to free themselves from the food industry's programming. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now informing the public of the toxic triad: big farming, big food, and big pharma. These three industries profit from a nation of sick and fat citizens. They sell and market food-like substances. We certainly can't leave it to the toxic triad to police themselves. We can learn from what happened with big tobacco. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now creating my own food landscape. I'm growing what I can myself, sourcing my other food from reliable sources. Food is medicine and free for us to grow and consume as human beings, residents of this planet Earth. I love foraging. I love getting out there, finding wild foods and medicines with every season. I always choose one per season, so every year I'm learning a minimum 4 new foods. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now using hypnosis to help me. The hypnotic effect of watching television includes relentless food marketing targeted to children. This is one of the major factors driving disease today. I'm part of the food revolution. Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is the largest organization working to address the epidemic of childhood obesity. They spend $100 million a year on public education programs. To put this in perspective, it takes the food industry 4 days to spend that amount on marketing processed junk food to children. It is unfair at best, drug dealing at worst. I sit back though. I remember what Margaret Mead said. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world, because indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I am doing something about it. We are doing something about it. I'm so happy and grateful I am now decisive. If medicine is the best treatment, I will choose that. If a change in diet, supplements, herbs, or lifestyle works best, I will choose that. We must learn to treat the person, not the disease, the system, not just the symptoms. This is personalized medicine and medicine of the future. I am actively participating in my own care. There is no need for medication when the body is healthy. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now balancing the 7 key systems in our body, my internal web. The network of our biology and my understanding of this is the basis of functional medicine, a method of treatment grounded in a whole new scientific field called systems biology. I seek to understand how systems in the body are interconnected rather than simply discrete organs or body parts that have no relationship to one another. I'm boosting my nutrition, regulating my hormones, reducing inflammation, maximizing detoxification, enhancing my energy metabolism, and soothing my mind. The key is not to treat each thing separately, but to look for and treat the fundamental underlying causes. There are just 5 causes of disease: poor diet, chronic stress, microbes, toxins, and allergens, all of which wash over our DNA, causing changes in our gene expression and turning on or off different genes. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now focused on just a few ingredients needed to make a healthy human. Real, whole, fresh food, nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. Also, light, water, air, sleep, movement, rhythm, love, connection, meaning, and purpose. The names of disease become irrelevant when we understand the cause. In fact, one factor can cause dozens of diseases, like celiac disease and allergic and autoimmune reaction to gluten. They say you need an antidepressant, but depression is just a label we give to a collection of symptoms. It tells you nothing about what caused the symptoms. The same thing that makes someone sick makes them fat. However, when we address the underlying causes of disease, the weight loss is automatic. I am at my perfect weight. I am full of energy. I am mastering myself more and more every day. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now working with my choice of doctor and getting what I need. The current standard American diet, or SAD diet, is a problem both for what it contains, too much sugar, processed fat, additives, hormones, pesticides, genetically altered plants, inflammatory proteins, and also for what it doesn't contain. We need omega-3 fats. We need fiber, magnesium, zinc, B and D vitamins, antioxidants, and more. I know what my body needs, and I feed it mindfully. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now eating plants. Plants contain nearly all the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, and fiber elements in our diet. The SAD, standard American diet, is energy dense. It has too many calories and yet nutrient poor. It does not have enough vitamins and minerals. These empty calories cause metabolism to break down and disease to flourish. I am powered by the rainbow, by a rainbow of plant foods. I am strong. I am immune. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now practicing the exciting new science of nutrigenomics, which promises to help us cure today's problems by seeing food not just as calories or energy to burn, but as information that provides instructions to our genes to get sick or to get healthy. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm learning from the plant and fungi world. I am remembering through the plants not only what I need, but who I am and where I come from. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now harnessing the wisdom of our Paleolithic ancestors. They ate 5,200 grams of fiber per day. Fiber is important because it helps the body absorb sugar, our gut to feel full, and reduces cholesterol. The fiber in my diet comes predominantly from plant foods such as fruits and vegetables. In fact, studies show that the addition of high levels of fiber to the diet is as effective as diabetes medication when it comes to lowering blood sugar without any of the side effects, which is just incredible, amazing. I am harnessing the energy, wisdom, and strength of those before me. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now consuming food that literally speaks to our genes. Dr. Dean Ornish showed that after just 3 months of an intensive lifestyle programming, including whole foods, plant-based diet, over 500 genes that regulate cancer were beneficially affected, either turning off the cancer-causing genes or turning on the cancer-protective genes. There's no medication that can do that. Plant genes are telling our genes what to do. This is revolutionary. Food is not just calories. Food is information. The key is the quality and type of food you eat, not necessarily the number of calories you consume. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now following the money. David Lidwig, one of the leading obesity researchers at Harvard Medical School, said molecular pathways involved in hormone action, like insulin resistance, have been the target of multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical research efforts. Another reason I choose to use food as medicine. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now shifting to a nutrient-rich diet that is abundant in plant foods such as fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, and whole grains. I'm consuming healthy fats such as olive oil, nuts, avocados, and omega-3 fats, along with modest amounts of lean protein. I get this from wild fish and happy animals. It is a diet of whole, real, fresh food that has been prepared in the kitchen, not the factory. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now consuming food that is beneficially affecting my entire physiology, reducing inflammation, boosting detoxification, balancing hormones, and providing powerful antioxidant protection. All these things that fix the underlying causes of disease. I know that what I put on my fork is the most powerful medicine I can take to correct the root causes of chronic disease and diabetes. I am a beautiful living example of self-healing. I'm so happy and grateful I am now eating from the earth. I'm growing and foraging. We need these additional nutrients from our soil. Farming, food processing, and food distribution systems result in nutrient and depleted foods. I know better, and I'm doing better. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now reducing my stress. Stress is defined as a real or imagined threat to our body or ego. I transmute stress fast and effectively. I no longer believe every stupid thought I have. though I do act on the best of them. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now aware of exactly what I'm sensitive to. I'm telling everyone about how an IgE test finds an immediate response and an IgG finds hidden or delayed allergies. Food allergens cause inflammation that starts in the gut and spreads throughout the body as food particles leak across a damaged gut barrier. I often recommend a 6-week elimination of dairy and gluten, the most common culprits. This is the single most important part of the program for many people, resulting in the greatest weight loss and reversal of diabetes. Using IgG food sensitivities as a guide to treatment has been one of the most powerful interventions to treat and reverse a whole host of chronic ailments. There is solid evidence for the benefits of the elimination diet, including a remarkable study published in one of the world's most prestigious journals, which said that attention to ADD or attention deficit hypersensitivity disorder improved dramatically through an elimination diet based on IgG food sensitivity testing. Anytime I see anyone with serious health problems or mental health issues, I ask, do they have a gluten sensitivity? Have they tried the IgG test? Is there something else going on here? Vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, seeds, fish, and lean animal proteins are all gluten-free. So when it comes to gluten sensitivity, I often recommend just stick with these. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now regularly exercising. This single practice dramatically reduces inflammation, which is why exercise is so critical. Taking a multivitamin is as effective for lowering inflammation as taking pharmaceuticals, with a lot less expense and fewer side effects. I am off the food I was sensitive to and on enzymes, probiotics, and fish oils. Our gut is one big ecosystem. It contains 500 species of bacteria that amount to 3 pounds of our total weight. It's 100 trillion microbial cells. We have 100 times more bacterial DNA than human DNA in our body. These bugs control our digestion, metabolism, inflammation, and our risks of cancer. They produce vitamins and beneficial nutrients as well as molecules. They sustain our body and our ecosystem through symbiosis. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now building a healthy gut microbiome. Gut bacteria thrives on what we feed them. When I feed them whole, fresh, real foods, good bugs grow and detox nasty toxins. I'm in symbiosis. I'm in a mutually beneficial relationship with bugs and lining my gut with an incredibly strong and resilient barrier of protection. I'm so happy and grateful I am now consuming enzymes, fiber, and prebiotics to re-inoculate my gut with good bacteria and probiotics. Finally, I repair my gut lining with omega-3 fats, glutamine, and other healing nutrients. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now supporting my own detoxification pathways with sulfur molecules. I'm boosting my body's main detoxifier. I get this from the broccoli family of vegetables. I'm boosting my detoxification and detoxifying with other minerals too, like zinc and selenium. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now processing the food I eat into energy, the fuel for life. I'm enhancing and optimizing microbial function, boosting energy production, and reducing oxidative stress. The disease of aging is really a disease of accelerated insulin resistance. If we fix that, we can reverse the aging process. I'm extending my lifespan to 120 years old. I'm carefully rebalancing, repairing, and rebuilding my mitochondria. I'm reducing insulin production, optimizing amino acid and protein intake, as well as exercising. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now consuming small amounts of low glycemic load carbs along with easily used and resorbed amino acids and protein throughout the day. I'm modifying my lifestyle, doing interval training and exercising. I'm eating nutritionally dense I'm taking certain supplements. I'm boosting my mitochondrial function. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now using cortisol to serve me. Cortisol helps protect us from danger in times of acute stress and contributes to every known chronic disease. By controlling my hormones, I'm healing. There are many ways to effectively reduce our stress response. I like relaxation therapies, meditation, breathing exercises, yoga, group support, massage, exercise, sauna, dancing, praying, laughing, and much more. I'm getting together with loved ones in other powerful ways, in ways where we can reduce stress. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now actively engaging in my relaxation response for the process of healing. I find a few things I enjoy to do, and I do them every day. Relaxing is as important as breathing, sleeping, or eating. Not doing it literally kills people. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now connecting the dots among all symptoms and health problems. I'm creating health. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now simply removing the obstacles, toxins, allergens, microbes, stress, poor diet decisions, and so on. I'm adding the ingredients my body truly desires, like whole fresh food, nutrients, hormones, sleep, movement, rhythm, relaxation, love, connection, meaning, and purpose. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now finding all the delicious benefits that come from eating real food and caring for my body and soul. I'm slowly and systematically integrating healthy changes into my diet and lifestyle. Along the way, I teach the information and skills I need to safely reinvent my kitchen, negotiate my supermarket, optimize my nutrition, add supplements, eliminate toxins, exercise, find my pause button, and beyond. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now learning how to use medication intelligently. I'm discovering natural alternatives for medication and meal planning. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now changing a lifetime of bad habits, learning new skills, and correcting misinformation. I know this takes time. Around 2 weeks to be exact. I always remember this critical preparation phase. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now connected. I'm connected to others. It is necessary as an ingredient for health, just like food, water, air, sleep, or movement. We are hardwired for community and connection. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now preparing my mind, preparing myself, preparing my kitchen, and preparing my inner chef. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now preparing my body. I'm choosing health. It is a revolutionary act, but revolutions start with small changes that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now a believer. I know that everything is possible given the right direction and ingredients. I naturally release all self-defeating thoughts and behaviors. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now taking 100% responsibility. I'm saying yes to myself. In spite of failure, negative thought patterns, and behaviors, I choose to thrive. I'm starting a process of self-care and self-nourishment. I am focusing on what is important to me. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now feeling really good in my body. I'm living a long, vibrant life. I'm contributing to a community. I'm spending more time with my family. I'm working through my bucket list. I'm enjoying trips with my grandkids. I'm having sex and playing yoga well into my 90s. I'm launching new businesses. I'm walking in the woods with my loved ones. I'm traveling the world freely and with intention. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now allowing my higher self to guide my choices every day. I know what is important for me. I'm writing out what I'm feeling. I'm recognizing how I feel and what I experience as I alter my food intake. I begin taking supplements and start to exercise more. I'm building new self-awarenesses. I'm strengthening my ability to create high-level wellness and wholeness. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now asking myself 4 simple questions right before I choose to eat something. Am I hungry? Is this what I feel like eating? Is this what I feel like eating now? Is there something else I could eat instead? I also have patience to ask what I'm feeling, what I need, and I understand that hunger can mean many things, like needing food, being lonely, and needing a friend, or being tired and needing a nap, or being angry and needing to sort out why. I'm thinking about what depletes my energy and what gives me more and quality energy. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now confident in my unique reasons for waiting to create change in my health and life. There is no right or wrong, just what is most important to me. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now making mealtime a time of connection, celebration, nourishment for my body and soul. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now reading labels. I'm decluttering my kitchen of disease and obesity producing frankenfoods. I have only food without labels in my kitchen, or foods that don't come in a box, a package, or a can. I'm reading the ingredient lists and nutrition facts. If food has a label, it should have fewer than 5 ingredients. If it came from the earth or farmer's field, not from a food chemist lab, it's safe to eat. If it was grown on a plant, not made in a plant, then I keep it in my kitchen. I'm investing in the right tools to support my journey to optimal health. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now a wisdom keeper. I'm called to gather knowledge of the ages, of what to eat and what to avoid. I hold the answers to many important questions like, will this mushroom kill you or fill you? Will this fish heal you or paralyze you? It's time to relearn how to hunt and gather in the modern food desert. The American supermarket is a drugstore containing dangerous, disease-promoting, addictive drugs disguised as food. I'm on the lookout for food as well as healing medicinal foods made by nature. As I become a skilled hunter-gatherer, I emerge with real, whole healing foods for my family and friends. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now learning how to create nourishing, delicious, and healthy meals quickly and inexpensively without enrolling in a cooking school. The average American spends more time watching cooking on TV than actually cooking. Learning to cook is worth it. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now gaining limitless energy to do all the things I desire because I take care of my body and mind. I sleep 8 hours a night, exercise daily, cook and eat good food. I have become an expert in an instant. I'm purposely and quickly able to prepare delicious, hot, fresh, whole food meals in less time than it would take to bake a frozen pizza or order takeout. I just plan ahead, just a little bit, and I get my kitchen ready for the whole week. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now cooking with my loved ones. Cooking is a wonderful family activity, giving us time together without distraction. It's a chance to catch up and nourish one another. I talk with friends while chopping and dicing. I can make 3 meals in 30 minutes total. I work fast. It isn't always fancy, but it's delicious and satisfying. I believe that medical clinics of the future will include teaching kitchens where patients can learn basic cooking skills, food selection, and preparation. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now making my medicine and natural alternatives. I throw away medications that don't work half as well and have only bad side effects. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating a nutritious protein breakfast. Good proteins are eggs, nuts, seeds, nut butters, and protein shakes. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now having small, frequent, fiber-rich meals throughout the day. I eat every 3 to 4 hours and have some protein with each snack or meal. I avoid eating within 3 hours of bedtime. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now managing my stress and adopting a daily stress management program that includes deep breathing, exercises, meditation, and other relaxation techniques. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now slowing down on my caffeine intake and oftentimes even eliminating it altogether. Caffeine does not compensate for a lack of sleep. I tell everyone that when I eliminate caffeine, I feel much better. Sometimes I might feel a bit tired for the first few days. I've even gotten headaches sometimes. This happens. These are withdrawal symptoms and a sure sign of addiction. Still, I get off the caffeine once again because I have more energy than I did before I ended my addiction as painlessly as possible. I start my weekend by catching up on sleep. I cut my dose in half every day until down to about half a cup a day. Then stop. I drink plenty of water, I get vitamins, and sometimes consult with entheogens. Caffeine itself is an entheogen, but there are many others that really help, as well as adaptogens and other amazing herbs that are out there. Another thing that's really great to do is even designate a day. I have had a lot of success in recent years just dedicating Sundays to having coffee. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now honoring how far I've come and rewarding my efforts. Research shows that tracking your progress and being accountable doubles your results. I share my progress with my friends and social networks. This also doubles my results. I'm getting feedback about my results. This is essential and very motivating too. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now securely and privately tracking my progress and helping revolutionize healthcare by practicing in my own healthcare journey. I'm stopping all flour and sugar products, toxic processed foods including high fructose corn syrup, trans fats, additives, and preservatives. Basically, all processed foods, alcohol, caffeine. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now gathering the tools and knowledge I need to persevere through my journey to health, step by step, week by week. I follow the action steps, I visualize health, and I'm optimizing the quality of my life. I feel radically transformed. A lot of people know more about how to keep their cars running for 200,000 plus miles than about how to keep their bodies, minds, and souls healthy for the lifespan of 120 years. Since we have only one body, I encourage others to learn about how it works and the basic ingredients for health and happiness. I'm personalizing my prescription for health. I have also learned to see patterns that connect the dots between different symptoms and disease. I help identify underlying causes of illness. Many people get overwhelmed with the amount of information they need to learn and the steps they need to take. It's better to layer things in over time. That's how I've set up my life. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now avoiding all grains, fruit, and starchy vegetables for 6 weeks, once a year. I'm leveling up to a more comprehensive supplement plan using herbs and other whole foods to fill me up. I'm understanding that many of the steps I'm going to take are intended to be long-term changes. Fasting sets the stage for a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. It's a complete overhaul in the way I eat and live. I'm eating my medicine. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now discovering a whole new world of Mother Nature's magnificent food pantry, which literally delights all of my senses. Food stimulates my palate and leaves me feeling clear and healthy, not to mention automatically more fat in my body. I'm focused on quality, not quantity. I feel satisfied while naturally avoiding cravings for food that don't benefit me. We get the most pleasure from life when we focus on the quality of our relationships, our food, and our work too. This is not so much about what I can't have, but about all the extraordinary tastes, flavors, textures, and food I am now exploring. The side effects are all good. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now absorbing food and its information that controls our gene expression, hormones, and metabolism. Low glycemic load diets are the only diets that have been proven to work. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now focused on eating foods that don't spike my blood sugar or insulin. Low glycemic food loads help people lose weight faster and keep it off. You need to combine protein, fats, and whole foods, fiber-rich foods, Also low starch carbs from vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, so on. I'm opting for whole grains and low sugar fruit. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now combining carbs with protein and fat every meal or snack. Eventually, this way of eating has become second nature to me. The key is to have a slow, even burn of food all day to keep my blood sugar and insulin levels stable. I choose foods that will send the right information to my body. I'm choosing quality foods that heal my body and the planet at the same time. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now using the 3 principles for a healthy planet and a healthy me. Number 1 is eating real food. Number 2 is cleaning up my diet. Number 3 is supporting local organic farmers. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now healing our planet and my health in one step. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now having essential fats, omega-3s, and essential protein amino acids. I also understand that if I never have any carbohydrates again, I will survive. I consume foods that include high levels of vitamins and minerals, also fibers, and special plant compounds with healing properties called phytonutrients and phytochemicals. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now focusing on low glycemic load plant foods. These are the slow carbs, not low carbs. When eating slow carbs in a meal, I always combine protein, fat, and fiber to lower glycemic load and add more nutrients. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating a diversity of slow-burning, low-glycemic vegetables. I love seaweed, whole grains, legumes, and all the foods that slow the release of sugar into the bloodstream. I'm eating dark berries, stone fruits, apples, and pears. I'm eating fiber, which stabilizes blood sugar by slowing the absorption of carbohydrates. It also feeds the friendly flora in my gut and scrubs my intestines, supporting a healthy digestive tract. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now eating 5 to 9 servings of fruit and vegetables per day. This naturally reduces the risk of chronic illness. One of the reasons these foods are so powerful is because of the phytonutrients that they contain. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now experiencing a dramatic impact on health. Mother Nature has many sources of medicine. Red, purple berries rich in polyphenols, dark green leafy vegetables, orange sweet potatoes, and nuts, all foods that reduce inflammation. Curcumin and turmeric are in the same class of anti-inflammatories as ibuprofen. Mama Nature has everything. I'm so happy and grateful that I am now eating my antioxidants, dark berries, black rice, pomegranates, orange and yellow vegetables such as winter squash, dark green leafy vegetables such as kale, collards, and spinach. I'm consuming resveratrol containing fruits like purple grapes, blueberries, cranberries, and cherries. When it comes to shopping and cooking, I just think about color. The deeper the color, the more antioxidants. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now detoxing through my diet. Broccoli, kale, collards, broccolini, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, bok choy, cabbage, and other natural detoxifiers like green tea, watercress, dandelion greens, cilantro, artichoke, garlic, citrus peel, pomegranate, and even coca. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now creating hormone balancing meals. I'm cooking with miso, tempeh, tofu, and ground flax seeds. I'm using herbs, powerful antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, and detoxifiers. I'm including turmeric, rosemary, ginger, coriander, and other spices. I'm eating garlic and onions very often. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now including fats to my plate. Our biology breaks down fats to the very root. Fats make up our cell walls, and if you don't get enough or if you eat too much of the wrong kind, you will not have the building blocks needed for healthy cell membranes. This is also needed for optimal insulin function and blood sugar control. Omega-3s are the king of healthy fats, so I consume wild or sustainably raised cold water fish, wild salmon, sardines, herring, also black cod. From the plant family, I eat avocados, use extra virgin olive oil, Walnut oil is also really good as a salad dressing. Sesame seed oil and sunflower oil are also healthy. Coconut oil and butter contain galluric acid, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory fat, and it can be used instead of butter or for cooking at high temperatures. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now going grass-fed. I consume animals raised in pasture that are eating the diet that they evolved to eat. These happier animals have healthier fat profiles than feedlot raised animals. Some people thrive as vegans, others wither. Some feel great when eating animal proteins, others get sick and sluggish. I trust that grass or free-range animals, even their eggs or sustainably caught low-mercury fish, are the best for me. It is essential that I get protein at each meal and snack. Eating protein turns up our metabolic fire and ability to burn calories while reducing our appetite at the same time. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now choosing meat products, understanding my choices and each impact on my health and the planet. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now cooking with as many spices and seasonings as I can. Each contains healing properties. I make sure to include plenty of our favorites in my cooking and to keep my pantry stocked with them. I'm so happy and grateful I'm learning what I can and cannot eat regularly or at all. I'm reprogramming my metabolism. Eating throughout the day keeps the fire in my metabolism burning all day. I'm staying away from allergens. Gluten, dairy are two primary food allergens that contribute to insulin and imbalances. Stopping gluten and dairy can be life-changing for some people. There's a strong correlation between the casein and dairy and the gluten in wheat and the development of disease. Removing these foods brings balance to my gut and is overall healing for many. Milk stimulates insulin production. Drinking a glass of milk can spike insulin levels up to 300% and contribute to obesity and pre-diabetes. Eliminating gluten and dairy may seem difficult at first, but after about 3 days off of them, I don't even crave them anymore. My body is the best indicator of whether or not I can eat a specific food long term. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now careful of how I spend my dollars. Every dollar I spend is a vote for the world I want to live in. With some reorganizing of my budget and priorities, I was able to find more money to spend on real and whole food. I'm tracking every dollar and how I spend every hour of my day. I have a clear understanding of exactly how I spend my time and money. I'm choosing what's really important to me and what truly serves both my health and life goals. I'm thinking of money as my life energy. It represents my time in a monetary way. I'm making sure it's something I think about. I have more time and money than I originally thought to invest in myself and the quality of life I deserve. Giving up that $2 coffee a day saved me $700 a year. Giving up watching just half an hour of television gave me an extra 7.6 days a year. There are ways of making choices that give us more resources. I also know a few secrets for eating well on the cheap and on the fly, like searching out cheaper sources of fresh food in my neighborhood, joining my local food co-op community-supported agriculture program, developing a repertoire of cheap, easy-to-prepare meals, creating a potluck day, and even more. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now taking mindful breaths and offering gratitude before my meals. Mindful eating is the act of becoming aware of what we eat and how that food looks, feels, and tastes in our mouth and how it makes us feel afterwards. It's the difference between gobbling up junk food and attentively savoring dark chocolate. It takes 20 minutes for our brain to register that our stomach is full. The practice of slow, mindful eating is a powerful way to better enjoy our food, lose weight, and improve metabolism. To eat more mindfully, I take 5 breaths in through my nose and 5 breaths out through my mouth slowly. I count to 5 each breath in and each breath out. That's it. I'm thankful for my family, my friends, for the earth which is providing food, and whatever else moves me in that moment. This is an ancient practice. Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist, Native American, even pagan. Still, I make it completely my own. I offer thanks as a powerful healing activity that has forever changed my relationship with food. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now enjoying a positive relationship with my food and eating. I stop reading, turn off the television, put down my smartphone for each meal. When I sit down to a meal, whether with family, friends, or myself, I place my attention on the food. I relish the experience. I'm amazed at how simply it amplifies my dining experience. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now dramatically consuming higher levels of vitamins and minerals and essential fats. The depleted soils from industrial farming, hybridization techniques, processed factory-made foods that have no nutrients. These are done in my mind. Nutrients work together to maintain the proper balance in our body, so I'm stocking up. I'm invested in the best quality food and best quality supplements I can buy. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now prioritizing my nutrition, exercise, and stress reduction. Keeping these in check always works much more quickly and dramatically than medication. I'm so happy and grateful I'm taking the time to learn about human optimization. Actively relaxing is an essential life skill. I want to be happy and healthy for the rest of my life. Healing, repair, renewal, and regeneration all occur in the same state of relaxation. I'm learning belly breathing and other breathing techniques. These are skills I take with me everywhere, and I'm practicing a minimum of 5 times a day. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now practicing with my mantras. Words of positive affirmation are important to repeat over and over again. When I choose my words of empowerment, I simply let go and repeat it with every exhalation. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now doing my mindset work. Our sympathetic nervous system gets triggered by our thoughts, what we imagine it to be true instead of real external sensors. We can visualize our way to a more peaceful state. I memorize it. I make a digital recording for myself and use online versions like Coach Ashley has created here. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now encouraged to release and open up. As I deepen my breath, I allow it to massage me from the inside and relax my body. I take the relaxed feeling with me throughout my whole day. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now blocking my screen time and making sure to unplug more frequently. The average American spends 8.5 hours in front of a screen each day. The amount of negative and irrelevant information flooding our minds is enormous. It makes some people fat and miserable. It also takes our breath away. We hold our breath when in front of the television and computer screens, and with other media as well, including magazines and radio. Poor posture and sense of anticipation are side effects as well. We inhale, and most often we don't fully exhale. Our breathing patterns are the key to managing our attention, to our feelings of well-being, and most importantly to nourishing our bodies with great lymph and blood circulation and with oxygen. Breath holding contributes to a state of fight or flight, to impulsive behavior, to flood stress hormones, and to compromised digestion and elimination period, teaching optimal breathing patterns, particularly in the early years. It's crucial exercise and just as important as proper nutrition. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now sleeping well. Creating a sleep ritual is a special set of things I do before I go to bed to help guide my body into deep healing and a good night's rest. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now stretching, walking, and staying fit. Slowly, I build up to 45 minutes of aerobic exercise a day, 30 minutes of strength training, and 15 minutes of stretching a day. Exercise is the most powerful medicine for treating and preventing a disease. It's a one-stop shop, a miracle, a potion. It saves more lives than all the antibiotics and vaccines combined. Exercise treats everything. I run, bike, dance, play games, jump on the trampoline, or do whatever is fun in the moment. Interval training in shorter sessions with short speed bursts is a simple way of supercharging my routine when I'm busy. Keeping flexible with stretching and yoga prevents injury and pain from other types of activities. Once I start, I gain confidence and self-esteem. So much so that I sometimes wonder why I ever resisted. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now reducing environmental toxins that are bad for my body and the planet. Unfortunately, our food, water, air, hormones, and body care products are often the source of hidden toxins. I reduce the burden on my body and community. I know that we're part of an ecosystem and refuse to be a waste dump. If people were on the menu, we would not be safe to eat today because most of the 80,000 plus new chemicals and toxins on the market since the 1900s have never been proven safe. We use something, then decades later it's proved not to be safe. For example, cigarettes, vaccines, baby bottles, BPA, cans, plastics. I'm discovering the sources of toxins and working on simple action steps to reduce exposure from each of the 5 major sources: food, water, metabolic toxins, internal waste products, hidden environmental chemicals, electromagnetic frequencies, and radiations. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now buying organic, locally, and in season as much as possible. I avoid conventionally grown fruits and vegetables with the highest toxic load. The 10 worst offenders are peaches, apples, sweet bell peppers, celery, nectarines, strawberries, cherries, lettuce, grapes, and pears. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now buying dairy, meat, eggs, and honey from creatures that are free from hormones, antibiotics, pesticides, and that are free range or grass-fed when possible. I choose the best quality food I can afford. When it comes to fish, I avoid large predatory fish and river fish, which contain mercury and other contaminants at unacceptable amounts. These include swordfish, tuna, sea bass, large halibut, and shark. I stick with low mercury and safe to eat fish like salmon, sardines, herring, shrimp, and scallops. I like them to be sustainably caught, to be wild caught, to be caught through restorative and regenerative practices. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm now honoring that my body is made mostly of water. As a medical school professor said, the solution to pollution is dilution. I'm drinking clean, fresh, pure water. I'm easily consuming 6 to 8 glasses a day, which has many benefits. So often we think we're hungry when really we're thirsty. We think we're tired when really we're dehydrated. I avoid contaminants including harmful microbes, pesticides, plastics, metals, chlorine, fluoride, medication, and other toxins. Every deep aquifer in America is contaminated with petrochemicals from pesticides that have just seeped into the ground from our industrial farming practices. The best option is to filter my own water and carry it with me in glass or stainless steel bottles. I use a Berkey filter to remove toxins. They're really good. Plus, my body is smart and it knows how to detox. Every moment from every day and everything, my body is mobilizing, transforming, and excreting toxins through my urine, liver, sweat, and breath. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now honoring my ways of elimination. I sweat through exercise or saunas. I also eliminate through poop, sweat, and pranayama, Sanskrit for breathing. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now decorating my home with houseplants. They detoxify the air in my home. I look for non-toxic household products. I minimize exposure to fluorescent lit areas. I'm using candlelight whenever and wherever I can. I avoid drugs and chemicals that are harmful to my well-being. I know I cannot make all these changes overnight, but I commit to changing one thing every day. I'm committed to change. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now aware that we live in a wireless grid. We are connected and linked up to the world. We're surrounded by invisible waves of energy that do not and have not been proven safe over time. I'm minimizing my risk of harmful effects of EMF. I'm turning off my Wi-Fi when it's not in use. I keep my cell phone at least 6 to 7 inches away from my body at all times. I also replace as many cordless items as I can with wired cord lines. I'm sitting far back from the computer screen too. I'm so happy and grateful I'm challenging myself to 6 weeks of healthy eating. This alone is enough to heal chronic symptoms for many people, so I reset with this protocol once a year at least. I also add in supplements, relaxation techniques, and exercise. I also encourage my loved ones to begin eliminating toxins from their environment. This is the closest thing to being treated by a functional medicine doctor without actually seeing one. The big secret is that most health problems don't require the attention of a doctor. We can fix them ourselves when we have the right information. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now improving my digestion. The gut is often the source of health problems and inflammation. I'm reducing inflammation while boosting my nutrition. I'm maximizing my detoxification. I'm regulating my hormones. I'm enhancing my energy and metabolism. In my mind, the results are worth it. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now utilizing the most important tool I have to heal myself, my fork. Food is the most essential medicine. It is powerful enough to heal most chronic illnesses. Dark green leafy vegetables, legumes, beans of all varieties, nuts, whole grains, seeds, mushrooms, berries, and beyond are all so good for me. They all make me so happy. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now focused on getting my stress hormones back in balance. I focus on balancing the thyroid and sex hormones. These are critical for optimal weight and blood sugar balance. If your thyroid is low, you can't adequately balance your blood sugar and your cholesterol or lose weight. A whole food diet combined with nutritional herb supplements, this is optimizing my body and critical in resolving hormone fluctuations. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now consuming seaweed and sea vegetables for nutrition, including iodine. Fish, especially sardines and salmon, also contain iodine, omega-3 fats, and vitamin D. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now sure that the real problem is with frankenfoods. I'm avoiding all the processed foods and sugars. I'm choosing simple foods with simple ingredients, knowing in full faith this choice is best for my body, mind, and the collective. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now balancing my hormones with diet and exercise. The hidden cause of imbalance can be a virus, parasite, or bacteria. Other things to consider are mold in your surroundings, hiding in the walls, the damp basements, or moldy bathrooms. Also medications such as birth control pills or toxins such as mercury and pesticides. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now investing in an IgG test. This is confirming food sensitivities. The common ones are gluten, dairy, eggs, yeast, corn, peanuts, citrus, caffeine, and soy. I'm taking prebiotics to feed my gut's ecosystem so the microbes can break down my food and prevent allergies in the future. I'm taking probiotics to repair my gut. Probiotics are needed for long-term health. I work with a diverse amount of probiotics and fermented foods. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now living clean and green. This is a cornerstone of creating health, losing weight, and preventing diabetes. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now enjoying a sauna more often. This is a lazy man's way to exercise. I drink at least 16 ounces of purified water before entering the sauna or steam bath. Then I drink 16 ounces after the sauna is done. Sunlight and saunas are good for my health and my mood. I shower after I sweat to get the toxins off my skin after. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now getting healthy and staying healthy with my loved ones. I'm harnessing the power of community. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now journaling daily. I'm doing exercises and following journaling prompts. I'm gaining energy and momentum in all areas of my life now. I'm so happy and grateful I'm trying out life coaching. It's a way of making life more integrated and allows me to overcome obstacles. I'm thriving now. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now belly breathing several times each day. I'm following guided visualizations and practicing restorative yoga and stretching. Stress can deplete the nutrients needed for deep relaxation of the nervous system, including magnesium, the B vitamins, and vitamin C. So I'm ensuring that I relax daily and that I'm really practicing and honing in on the breathing techniques. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now listening to my body, staying in balance and finding rhythm. The key to a healthy metabolism and lifelong health is balance and staying in flow. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now remembering to play, explore, and use new and exciting ways to improve my body. I feel certain I can find activities that are not only nourishing but fun. Living clean and green is one of the best ways to protect my health. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now learning how my body works and how to work with it rather than against it. I'm getting and staying healthy in a modern world. This is a heroic feat. This is a subversive and revolutionary act. I navigate dangerous foods and landscapes, resist carefully designed temptations at every turn. I fight marketing that goes right after our primitive hardware and survival impulses. I also label food pushers, the saboteurs, and thousands of distractions and other media bullshit. I am cultivating my survival skills. I'm preemptively avoid these things, these landmines. I become less discouraged and have more dramatic results because of it. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now carefully monitoring and analyzing my diet. I'm reading labels. It is essential I eat only foods without labels. I get into shape. I increase my exercise intensity and duration. I'm interval training to continue improving. I identify the degree to which food sensitivities and allergies may be driving inflammation in my body, and I avoid those things naturally and with ease. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now building up a healthy community, understanding that if I want to travel fast, I can go alone, but if I want to travel far, I must go with a team. Our health has been hijacked from us, taken slowly over the past century. Our current food industry, schools, workplace, faith-based communities, healthcare institutions, and government policies make it hard to make healthy choices. We are presented with choices that foster bad habits, but together, getting and staying healthy is possible given the right information, tools, and supporting collective. I'm taking action. I'm taking back our health. The government food pyramid reflects industry interests, not science. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has not protected us from harmful pharmaceutical influence. The number of diabetes drugs in the world has been allowed to stay on the market in the United States, even after it's shown to cause 47,000 deaths from heart disease since it was introduced in 1999. I believe health is a human right that is neglected and undervalued. It is time to take it back. Pharmaceutical companies continually promise the next breakthrough, yet we inevitably end up disappointed by a new drug. There will never be a quick fix. It is the hundreds of little choices that we make every day that will transform our collective health. This is what I'm committed to. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now leading an excellent example for my loved ones. By making choices as individual families and communities, we can force change. I demand healthier foods. For example, giant retailers like Walmart now offer organic and lower sugar and fat products. It is this kind of pressure that forces change in large swaths of the economy, including food growers and producers, and reduces the toxic burden on the environment too. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now voting every day with my dollar and my fork. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now cutting down on my screen time. I have total control over what I bring into my home and what I choose to do. Small changes have a big impact on my family's health and happiness. Also on the food industry's agriculture and marketing practices. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now eating together with my friends and family. Family meals are a time for empathy, generosity, a time of nourishment and communication. I'm taking back my family dinners. I'm learning how to find and prepare real food quickly and simply. I'm teaching the children how to connect and build security. I'm developing social skills meal after meal, day after day. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now reclaiming my kitchen. I'm planting a garden. It's the tastiest, most nutritious, and most environmentally friendly food we could ever eat. I'm helping others to create small gardens in a box or on their roof or porch. We're getting healthy together. We're starting a cooking club too. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now encouraging my loved ones to reduce their screen time. The average kid spends 7.5 hours a day in front of a screen watching billions of dollars in advertising for food of the poorest nutritional quality. Overweight kids eat 50% of their meals in front of the television. Teaching our children every day about healthy nutrition cannot compete with the marketing that they have paid. Thomas Friedman, MD, director of the Center of Disease Control, recommends that we prohibit food marketing to children. When the food advertised is as addictive as heroin or cocaine, who is accountable? I'm supporting the integration of self-care and nutrition into the curriculum of schools. I'm developing initiatives and wellness programs. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now helping people discover that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you. I honor God within my own body. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now aware that health is our most neglected human right. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now encouraging healthy food at gatherings, events, and activities we do together. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now making healthy, cool, and sexy. I'm exposing subversive practices of big food, big farming, and big pharma. Through the act of getting healthy together, we can create a double revolution. Currently, the system profits from having sicker and fatter patients. If we were successful in reducing disease by half or reducing complications by 80%, hospitals would go bankrupt, pharma would see the profits plummet, and many physicians would be forced to start institutions of lifestyle medicine over surgery and medication. Any one act by any one individual or organization will not be enough to create change. I'm reminded of what Mother Teresa once said. There are no great acts, only small acts with great love. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now understanding the power I have to change my genes and my health by changing what and how I eat. I'm supporting my biochemistry and metabolism with supplements, moving my body, learning to deeply relax, and live clean. I'm so happy and grateful I'm now seeing a clear solution using the power of food and lifestyle to prevent and even cure most chronic illnesses. We don't need new discoveries. We just need to apply what we already know so that our children and their children can live in a free world that is both healthy and full of life. Food is medicine, and medicine is food. I'm Ashley Michaud, your coach, and I thank you. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for all you've done, all you're continuing to do, and all you will do in the future.